So emamo akwaba biom e mani je pa say enyina yese hye biom enwumere yi ewo ejumedi ya to the dinset time with startups and ejuada bia ye behia na afede yakotwetwe nkofo aba na ye bedi nkomo abobo mu adwedwe ho na afede apɛ aspam ne pomasibre na afede yesua ade bi ewo mu mesa so akai mo biom se unyen share video ne ya ana won share link ne ya misrawo share link ne ma wonu ya ne wadofo nyina na afede obia so enye bi na enye kama na yetimi ende dwumedi ne ma ne nyefe last 2 weeks yet we talked about how to join the US military ama yenwa na hene ebiebie mo ma yeti ase we so me dey cover recruiting side and ma yehu the things that we need in order to be eligible when it comes to recruiting process no in there you might be discussing life a war military whilst you're serving and as I would say we so after life no Sunday city how be prepare ho set yourself apart from others and also be set yourself right say na obefia bibia be koso kama ma into the mesra wo share video na ma onua no na me fa akonye so aton ade ama adofo me ka obiom se ope kwan a obefa so enya motivational speaker in terms of mental health adisua no feel good services na make am fama do abusia fo nyina no pomochira kwan e feelgoodservices@gmail.com email no de enya yira kwan kra ebiom feel good say or share no hu say answer na nipa betimi enya baby answer na nipa betimi enya asumdwie e de adwene abrapa ho na afedie omo mental health na sisi so amana kama no oso munya baby papa de omitito intesa wo akontom na say wo call vacation e wo Ghana besraw kono ko feel good homes ne bi e wo East Legon Hills me ko Ghana ho na meda te kono ko bi e wo East Legon Hills na afedie tintire wapom omusa so location ibo pokwase in case our line that is Legon Hills na wo de of anko amasa mine in samwem kwan so na wo de wudi agra pokwase will be the best bet for you say the kwan number be ya tom ne krampo de be ma bibia akọ 13 intino pom number no e wo echa kwale 513 3725758 promotion akwa one no nyom din kobo omusa so wonsase a o pe bia omitimi abia ma o so pese o customize one sa wo dan na wo si a they can also do that for you as well too fego homes and become from madu obusia for enyina happy glow gh so wo Ghana misraw na wonnam to say Ashoman Estate in Potem Hon kwa benya Taifa Brekusu Edeko ACP Pokwase the perfect location for you to go get your pedicure, manicure, Happy Glow GH. Or see where beauty is pronounced. Or beauty supplies is also baby ewo kama it's called Nafidie and no more including it. More Ashoman Estates right opposite Veggies and Grill. Happy Glow GH na become farmer the obusia for you now. Next week we'll be talking about weight loss and weight management. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's weight management, Obiane ne de obi on ma the same thing why ya enso emfa Oswald Wellness LLC say so per family nurse practitioner and I say IV hydration primary care and I say weight management bra no mo no ending kita wana bibi anya kama but the point in they said they are only registered in Maryland and Ohio. It is Ohio now Maryland and Quadia important one media misro form number in from when any ending kita 513-268-2740 Sasu name yaba Millicent to say so or fight any financial ignorance in America. Say open second job I be mao it's been that kind of work-life balance no and now say be insurance policy be now share educational plan be share ma and that's the best life insurance policy and one is be free by Millicent or a licensed financial professional. She will advise you the best way to go na video bibia akoso kama the number near 937-321-2270 and now say 937-270-9882. Madam Ase. Tap send or payment nankasa. The fastest, secured, reliable way to send money back home. We're saying the rate no, and there then I'm 12.9. Umpi na per day. Downloading. Your money is safe with us. Tap send papa no. Into Mr. Say a mobile account money now they call and now say be a bank account and now they call. The best way to go. They be a make a for take advantage of the rates right now. Because the fast one this half it. And train cast the next month and train cast the next month. Sebi your woo in no plans for China. Now the boost for so any done so into no whatever you have to do it now. Or should draw near so plan or chance the so account. To download that app send also the wallet system na ba sabre UK and yembe do US and me say yembe do so and pin for my update about it. Right now, I'm posting na mama A class am any updates from Tap send na afide wi a ye ne yenwa be ma na hene a share dwumede na ase amana kama. A class ye ma kwa baba dwumede ni so.
Yeah, yeah. I was for your mom na makwa baba a time of Tata send the US and Canada version so the massive so say nyakopa daroma every week be an so moba e me na mutimi hie mu na ya dwendwo na ya guess so ba and so they and simple so the brain. So quick one, I'm there from Tata Send at the moment, we will say, as you all can see, application kind we'll continue to make sure, say, your code transfer, say that you did can, customers in now, so the best possible as we can. Say that at least most service can also more the energy and no paper so ever service can also and then what so aqua if aqua medibia will be a person or so. At the moment, so the ambassadors are there, so your meduma pan so. And if you know of any event and stuff here, then please link up to any of the ambassadors. At the end of the meeting, we'll contact better chat room, and they can visit your church, your restaurant, wherever the event lies. So just contact them, and they'll be of great services to you. Tata Sense so said the PK earlier on with the wallet system now is doing great in the UK here. Very soon it will roll to other continents and other places as well. In the Bacho Hana Webusan for more UK, Bacho Boma money. Kind say let them roll onto the wallet system and it's doing the magic, and people are using it, saving money, planning and budgeting, and also rating cost. It doesn't have a conformer, it doesn't affect them because they've locked up the rates already. Until like a crowd met me, I can we are yearning to hear from our Air Force man. And I hope say Nadia, the way I knew Gunachi a very more of soft touch than Nimano Gunachi. All right then. Okay, into PK, over to you.
All right, yeah, that's it for the updates from Tap send. Ebusi afraid that mujina say sabre jumede ne babeshas here 610 pepe into no yunyana na hene edi ye be go through the process all the way through say 710 715 into no you do best at 710 you may be acquire my questions in your baba for the meantime no or question be Mr. Fato chat box in him so Facebook YouTube and that's a Zoom you be kind in so ama kama the AS and na Mr. for link in my when you know just be TB near ya so beti akoka na video one can nipa ne kan na obi akokọ before for na video be blame me ti fa link the man nipa na nipa ntie bi enya sa so dia ye po na the Facebook ne YouTube link no so asend no so akasa kokotie won and I say ebusu afa saso mamu nyina akwaba again like I said you guys your time is very important to us into them we share one thing dem ase nana ye ma akwaba e ba djubede ne so biam
oh yeah otimenka.
It's all up. Third time on the show. First time was about real estate. Second time was about military, and third time was about military. And also they say third time is a charm. So first two times in there, no, we be kama. You were expecting say this will be a kama. I'm under the weather a little bit, but yeah, we are pushing through. I hope so. Will be also so here. See, I can say the life in the military. Any life after the military. So during the military and after the military, Nana, walk us through the process. Yes, yeah.
Okay. My main share my slides real quick.
Yes.
All right, and I say kind of last 2 weeks, we'll go real quick over what we covered, and then we'll get into the life in the Air Force. As we talked about, military, there were so many branches. You can either do full-time or part-time. Your Army, Marine, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and your war part-time there will be the reserve side of things, and then the National Guard. Your state run. Another one run by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Your friend Commission Corps of the U.S. Public Health. You're not dealing with anybody who is a physician or a nurse or a dentist, a veterinarian, new here, anything pertaining to public health. They handle that. You have to have a professional degree with that. Within the military, you're breaking it down into the enlisted side of the house and then the officer side of the house. For the Air Force, Space Force, your training now is at Lackland Air Force Base. Open officer route now, you go through the ROTC route, OTS, and then Air Force Academy. Bases, these are the bases across the Air Force that you can, bases across the world that you can go to, United States, all the way from Alaska to Asia. And then the jobs, we group them into healthcare all the way to law and order. And we have lawyers, we have everything. Both enlisted side, any officer side, we have over 200 careers that you can do in the Air Force. Benefits, we talked about insurance, food and housing, retirement, recreational, vacation and travel, and education as the benefit. And there's a lot more benefits, but these are the main highlights. You go through basic military training for the enlisted side. It's a 7.5-week program at Lackland Air Force Base, and that was my experience. I did that for 4 years, pushing people through that. You go through 0 week all the way to 7th week. By 7.5 week, then you graduate from there. Normally, you wake up around 04:45, and then ube class, ube running, doing drills, and all that. By 2100, if it's 9 p.m., now your lights are out to prepare yourself for the next day. So that leads us into life in the Air Force. Into where we basic military training, then you move on to what we call the test school. And test school, in the Juma be our selected or Air Force, I think I could train you. You can say Yakomao in San Juma. And in San Juma, that is where you go for your technical training. We have 6 installations, 6 main installations that you go for your training. Number 1, Lackland. Lackland, baby, your training. Say Juma be selected. Say you can go there for training. It will be training. Some of the training could be your friend is material management, transportation. And a few other, I'll go over them on the next slide. And then your Fort Sam Houston, that is an Army base, but it's also based in San Antonio. It's the focal point for all medical jobs. It's now any medical job, you say LPN, or biomedical equipment technician, and I say X-ray, and hospital admin, anything to do with healthcare, is run at Fort Sam Houston. It's run by the Army. Then we have Goodfellow Air Force Base, Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas. So Lackland, Fort Sam Houston, Goodfellow, Shepherd, Texas. There is Kisla, in Mississippi. And in Mississippi, you're dealing with all the personnel, personnel with Juma. And I say, cyber, anything to do with computer is based in Mississippi. Training. So, anything pertaining to space, and California, Vandenberg Air Force Base, training. There are other jobs in TM say Goodfellow. Juma was say these are possible jobs and there are various locations that it would take you in the Air Force or test school. TM say Goodfellow. Ubeye Juma be to say cyber intelligence. And I say say human intelligence and now fire protection. There were fire service for within the Air Force. It's a honor training. So your officer, you're going for intelligence officer training. That will be at Goodfellow. Lackland Air Force Base, your flight engineer. That's where you go for your training. Or your load master. Load master, you're more share and near my plane. So where you must always say more plane more. That's where your training will be. Later on, you can also go for flight to be a flight attendant. The Air Force knows more planes. Planes fly, your commanders near your generals. You can be a flight attendant in those. So when you know what, that is a route for you to go. Your friend be sensor operator. Your drones here. War a You can be the one operating the cameras to be able to see where both the good guys and the bad guys are, and that is a sensor operator. Some of the training takes place at Lackland Air Force Base. I already talked about air transportation there, so that is at Lackland. Oko Kisla as well. So and Maleste. These are just a few ones. So we are weather officer that they go to training at Kisla in Mississippi. So we are your friend says cyber warfare operations. Like man saying, you might want to get into cyber. So in cyber, that's where your training is going to be. Shepherd Air Force Base deals with all the maintenance. Plane is fixing that training. I know what Shepherd Air Force Base also in Texas. There are other bases too. It be Maryland. It be Artist Air Force Base, Oklahoma. Some careers be they are run either by the Army or run by the Navy. You can go to these various locations. Fairchild Air Force Base, and Washington. It's where you're training, then we either fly you or bus you to this tech training locations. Typical training for test school, it's about 6 weeks. Into training for 7.5 weeks. Test school training is 6 weeks, depending on what job are. 6 weeks or all the way to a year and a half. A year and a half. Normally, you might be language. Kasa in Korean, and I say Japan and Japanese, and I say Spanish. Now that's where they take you. That training is in California. It takes normally roughly about a year and a half. That is how it is, either from all the way from 6 weeks to a year and a half. Normally, Ube Soriano still doing your PT or your physical training around 07:45, and then classroom classroom and then from 07 to 1600. You find past 7 a.m. You could see a 4:30 p.m. You'll be matching in groups, and you are matching group by student leaders. I want you to take note of that student leaders, and I'll get back to it later on. And you'll be learning pretty much a apprenticeship. So you're on the listed side now. It's apprenticeship. It's also your truck driver or your HVAC. They training you day in and day out just to have that in San Ujumano. Upon 4:30 now. At that time, you can go to dinner with my laundry, but you have your time to yourself all the way till 10 o'clock. All the way to 10 o'clock. So that is the typical schedule, running from 6 weeks all the way to a year and a half, and then being almost having a classroom time of 0700 to 16:30. That is the typical schedule. Ufrid training about our civilian, and go through training. Yeah, shape now wabe military. It may be attention and so we try to ease you a little bit, gradually, so that you can become, balance between being military and civilian. Within test school, there are 3 phases in which you go through. The first phase, and then your phase 1, and then for the first 2 weeks, the first 14 days, and those things are still strict, as if you were still in basic training. And then you move into phase 2, which starts from 15 days all the way to 35 days. And then you're relaxing your mom kakrama, which master attache fiata within the base, but ultimately quabonting. And then phase 3, then we give you more liberty. I'll be to me aquabonti and I'll be to me abesrao. So that is the goal of it, to be able to phase you out and just make sure say with me a balance at that stage. Say test school 6 weeks. You're gonna say 6 weeks then it won't go all the way to 35 days. And they phase it on making sure say maybe after a week, another week or 2 weeks in your second phase, and you can move on to third phase to be able to have all those liberties. So that is that for it. Then what happens after test school? After test school, as I stated last 2 weeks, unya joining Air Force now. Every month be a 2.5 days of leave. Okabomu the whole month now about 30 days of leave. And you still accumulating while in training and in test school. You might get averagely maybe 15 days or 20 days of leave coming out of test school. And to say we test school now. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'll be in it. Mitchell baby, you never your active duty. They're going to tell you say you're going to be stationed in say Washington, or you're going to be stationed in Ohio. So before I know about Konyan say we'll be in September, because by October and by November, make sure say what station you assign to. So leave our one, you can take that leave during that time. So when you're 20 days, you can take leave. Another benefit be a your friend or a recruiter's assistant program. And now 12 days, that 12 days, no, and no end free will leave wow accumulating already. 12 days, I and will say, oh, baby, and now young fans say now, Worcester, and I will join here. You can take those 12 days to go help your recruiter. And I think so later on, I'll allow PK to talk more about that. Into that 12 days, no, you go help them between the high schools, just help them with uniform, just to go out there and try to help your recruiter and recruit people into the Air Force. One key thing I want you to know, it's not just the one time I'll be use for recruiter. Now. Every year, I'll be use that 12 days. You can say your station was Washington State, but free Worcester. Now, Afibia and Open Worcester, apply for that recruiter's assistance. You get 12 days of free leave in addition to what leave now in your account. Know what many about area. So that is how it is pertaining to the test school side of things. Unya drew into wako recruiters assistant, wako fee, wako file niema, and the Air Force, you have the two options. Either say Air Force want to be moving niema na wana, so wapesu moving niema. And so wapesu moving niema, the Air Force will pay you. While file you ho and also file Penske anyway, they will pay you to be able to move your things, or you can just sit back and then the Air Force will bring people to move your things to your new locations. So they'll come in, they'll bring a moving company, and they will move everything all the way to your new state, your new station, which will be Washington State, and then they will take you. When you get to your new station, they take you through a program called the FTAC, First Term Airman Course. It's is to make sure that you are now being transitioned back into operational Air Force. Into all this time from training in United was just training Air Force, and to say the same, operational Air Force is the actual life in the Air Force. It's they will take you on a base tour. It's like a week. I think it's a week program. They take you through the base tour. Golf course, commissary, daycare, dormitory, and then there is a wing commander or a command chief brief. And the wing commander and say mayor. As I stated last 2 weeks, more on your base, you have everything. So the wing commander is considered the mayor of the base. It's your things that you're supposed to do and or irrespective of you, so that you be successful in your Air Force career. Somebody will come and brief you on education. As we talked about educational benefit, they will brief you on education. They will also talk about airmen and family readiness. So airmen and family readiness is things that will make you successful. And I'll go more into detail on the next slide. They will talk about safety, things to do to make sure you are safe within your new community. As I stated, you were in New Jersey or New York, and now you are in Washington State. There are certain areas you can't, it's not good for your family and yourself. And, wing safety will tell you any things that will help you out. The next briefing they will normally talk to you about is equal opportunity. And this talks about, making sure everybody is treated equal within the Air Force. We don't want any discrimination. So that is there's a whole office that treats any discrimination within the Air Force. And just to be frank with you, you're going to encounter those because you have a lot of people coming from different backgrounds, people coming from the South, from the West, from the East, across the world coming into the Air Force. So you might encounter those, but there is an office to handle all those issues. Then you have legal. Legal will come in and brief you and let you know what your rights are, your legal rights are. Within the military, though we have the U.S. Constitution governing young civilians, there's a special rules for us, which is called the UCMJ. So that is what pertains to us, military, Uniform Code of Military Justice. That is for the military. They will tell you what to do, what not to do, your requirements, so that and yes, what we are from BB. Now, if you work as in a minimum, they'll make sure that you get all this. But this training, all this information, they tell you while you are in basic training, while you are in test school, and even while you are in the FTAC. Then they'll talk to you about financial management. Financial management is very important. They get into, because Ubemuna Yamao, something they call security clearance. Or clearance, so one manager who seek a same year. I've seen a lot of people that get into trouble with that. They're going to make sure, how to keep, make sure you get, credit card, you get the right credit card, your credit score. So they make sure that financial management is taken care of. And then there will be a last thing about resiliency training. As I was saying, you move into a new location, people are treating you differently. You want to be resilient. So they teach you all these skills that will help you to be successful in the Air Force, so that never something will hit you. Remember, say, family member passes away. How are you able to handle all those things? This resiliency training helps you, because being in the military is stressful on itself. So we give you that training to make you successful. Now, into the main way about the life in the military. Just know, say, you move from baby now New York, now Washington State. On average, especially for our officers, maybe watch 3 years. Actually, so maybe 4 years. I was fortunate in my first duty station. I was there for 6 years. I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was able to stay there for 6 years. But on average, especially military life, we are always on the move. You have to know, say, the effect on yourself, the effect on your children. So what worry no ma, very stressful. You are always moving. 4 years, while you're used to the area, no assignment, but you have to move. But in terms of moving, they make sure, say, they make things comfortable for you. There is something they call dislocation allowance. Like I said, they are moving you from that area, almost just to help you, so that when you go to your new duty station, you can be able to settle in. Roughly, I think it starts from somewhere 3,000 all the way to 6,000, just to help you. And that is just the inconvenience of them moving you. However, say like I stated earlier, they'll pay you, or if you want them to move you, they will do that. On average, this doesn't pertain to everybody, but you also you are subjected to be deployed. Anti-deployment, and they say either say and I say you can either be going to war, or going for humanitarian services, or just going to set up a new base. They can move you to go to South America. You might be going to Brazil, some remote location to set it up, or you can be going to Africa. We used to go to Niger,
Djibouti.
and I see Djibouti. Djibouti. You can be there for 4 months all the way to 12 months. So this is the length of your deployment, depending on your job. I say where you might special forces are, you might be going for a longer time. But say a normal support role, you might be going for maybe 4 months. On average is 6 months. So that is the life of life in the military. You are moving all the time in terms of your permanent location, and then possibly within every 20 months. And I say we're going through a rotation. Every 20 months, you prepare yourself. Yes, anything can happen. You can be called to go serve in any different location. But no deployment now. The difference between PCS and deployment, and say PCS no family move. And say PCS over Georgia, now PCS, I say, Japan, you're moving with the whole family. With deployment, your family stays at that location. You are still at that location. However, you are gone temporarily to get your job done. So that is one thing about life in the military. You're moving constantly. When we talk about military and family readiness services, so these services are there just to make sure, say, while you're in, things are moving back and forth. Things are happening. As I said, you're moving, you're relocating, you're going on deployment. There's a program they call Air Force Families Forever. And that is just to make sure, say, what deployment are people who are there, who supervise, and as people within your work session, they are there to make sure, say, your families are taken care of. Say, oil change, and I see they have programs there to help, just to make sure that things will come down. It's already stressful on its own. There's something we call the Exceptional Family Member Program. And in this program, there are certain stations, there are certain bases you can be. We only have clinics on the base. In Tibuha, they can move you to a place at hospital. Autism and abuse. They make sure that you are closer to an installation that will be able to help them take care of your child's needs. With that being said, what's our program now? They normally put a code on you. It is Yanoba station, which is Ohio. now hospitals, you can stay there for a very long time so that they can take care of your child at any time. While employment resources are for your significant other and also spouse and your wife and husband. Make sure that those things are available at the MN family readiness. We already talked about financial readiness. Before I go deployment, you want to make sure that your things are in order. About crisis support, as I stated, over here now, family member passing away in Ghana. If it's your immediate family member working with your first sergeant now, your friend say he's part of the command triage. They are there to help you, but they will work with you to give you emergency leave. I've seen scenarios whereby emergency BSC Ghana, they pay for your plane ticket and then have you on the next available plane to go back home to make sure that things are taken care of. So that support is there for you. Retirement services, that one I will leave that for PK to highlight it. That will be live after the Air Force. When we talk about key spouse program, there are programs for your spouse to be able to these key spouse program are there for your husband or your wife to know what we actually do day in and day out, so they can come within the squadron or come within the battalion to know say in Anyama Ekoso. And then there are programs to make sure say a deployer, they help bring these things down. Personal and work life, this is just normal back and forth. As I'm saying, unyaba base na depending on where you man, ejuma bi wo ha Monday through Friday, anopa 8 to 4. Ejuma bi wo ha you be kwa wia bi wa be kwa na ju bi also be weekend. There are some you go just 12 hours. You working around the clock. They still make sure that sometimes you get times off, but very unpredictable. You bit my friend anytime. So you want to make sure that personal and work life, they help you balance those out. Transition assistance program, I'll leave that for PK. Say what time or so 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, all the way 20 years to retirement or 30 years now. These programs are there to make sure you can transition out of the military successfully. Voting, they give you the avenue depending on where deploy you, or Japan, or Korea, or they make sure you can still be able to vote. Deployment support, I already highlighted on it. WUCO deployment, helping you with oil change, helping you with cutting your grass. They have all those supports available for you. Relocation assistance. So PCS at a time so says we move from one location anywhere. PCS, they normally you can either fly to your new location or you can drive. I normally drive. I take that PCS opportunity, just to travel across the country. It's joining Massachusetts. I drove all the way to Las Vegas. While you are traveling, they pay you for your mileage. For every mile, they pay for it up to 2 cars. On top of that, they give you something we call per diem. So they pay me, the member, a certain amount. They pay my spouse, and then they pay the children per diem. And so I use that time to travel across the country, stay at the best hotels I can find, and then get to my new location. So relocation assistance that comes in. Same thing if you want them to move your stop, they move your stop for you. So that is what our general life is. We are always moving. You typically have the same job I was civilian, but just say you should be available 24/7 to get things done. You're going to face, discrimination. Things are going to come your way. However, as you say, your normal civilian life, However, within the military, we have a whole office that handles that. We take it very seriously. It will be SATOA. We make sure that you can have those taken care of. One thing you also want to know is that your career and now where you career now you've taken on is your own. Obia is not there to, people are there to help you, but as a woman it should be your main focus. You have to seek out those opportunities to set yourself up or set yourself apart. One thing within the Air Force that we look for is leadership. We're always looking for leadership skills. And I stated again in test school, I highlighted about being a student leader. And so that opportunity was started from test school. I do one friend a green rope, yellow rope, and red rope. While even in technical training, you can start going for those leadership opportunities. Maybe we have a so me accent and I say me anyway. You want to be able to push yourself, push yourself and go above those things and those and manage anyway. Maybe we have over from, but all from now and none the best set to apart to go and say that will set you up to be able to promote as fast as possible. So that is one thing I want to talk about. Until this time I have a few things, but I will stop over here and then I'll have PK take care of life after the military, and then I'll chip back in from there.
All right, Nana Yadasi, you've really broken it down very well. I'm pretty sure so before for 8 year will not say need any idea about military now. Picture now I draw no that alone will just have that person get excited about it, or probably be like, okay, I have to think about this twice. There are a couple things I know Nana is going to talk about concerning leadership wise, like he just said, this is something that your whole life, so you have to make sure say every decision that you make in there, it will either impact you positively or negatively. There are so many life in the military. Minimum be now, not to say tattoo is a bad thing, only tattoo, but do military peer pressure chain man ko tattoos because boys ko tattoo on so akoye bi when we be oni minsa nom so was in the military or be dan ko say any heavy pa and not necessarily say military na man nom so but e bia wantimi and you see the avenues now your war for coping mechanisms and I decide to go with drinking to cope with the stresses in his life and her life. Let's look at life after the military. So I retired last year. So life has been very, very great for me. And when I go to the VA hospital, which I have access to, right? You see a lot of people that Oshomo Abrabana, Osho Abrabana, say Bia, Osho the Omoye, and then Yawo yes, I don't say Omama military now for Momo. Or Momo for military name. So when you let the military go through you now, you come up with a lot of substance. But when you go to the military now, then you come up with a lot of broken, vessels. And what I mean by broken vessels is say your life become a piece of, shadow vessel. A good baby is like, baby, I won't pick it together because you didn't take the leadership and mentorship seriously. You didn't take advantages of the resources at your disposal seriously. And what I mean, a typical example, then education. Recreational, like advocacies, equal opportunity office, all those things now are there to help you to become better and when you get out. So Nana, they talk about RAP. Let me go to RAP a little bit, then I'll come into TAPS, then retirement services. So the RAP program and the Recruiter Assistance Program is basically a system there for new recruits or more joining service especially the Air Force. So once you join, once you were in the delayed enlistment program, right? If you exhibited an exemplary life, you were able to get somebody else to join with you, which is called the buddy system, or you were able to you were on time with your appointment. Your recruiter and the catcher say, yeah, one concern you stick yourself out of trouble because once you get into the delayed enlistment program, any issue with financial, that is credit card issue, any issue with the law, and any issue with your marital status, as a sacrampona, it can create a problem, your delay enlistment. It's very, very adding. So when you're a young guy with the 18, 17, 19, 20, now or say on living this kind of life, abra mailbox, they do a lot of stuff that makes them youth. They go to the youthful exuberance. Into when you're able to keep them from the law, you're able to advise them, and also they are very punctual at appointments and meetings and stuff like that. Now, at the end of the day, it makes them stand out. So when they go to when they get to their first duty station, and when they're done with the basic training, the tech school, no trade school, they come back home. It's used as Obeba recruiter. 12 days near 12 calendar days and yet 12 business days. Into basically the 12 days start. So we do Saturday, the 12 days start from that day. You lose out on a lot of stuff. So what happened is the recruiter will take you along with him. Into high school now, we no recruiter no call on in clan no could come out no never call because your face is already known, and because you say be now you're collaborating as is be very disciplined, structured now, it will be a good message to your friends a recruiter and a student no. Hey, Nana hene pa na and there why very decent uniform bibia set ni said and sanitated yeah I would love to be like Nana hene and now say bia the parents teachers program be obo ye no one must student now but usually na club your stubborn bia with school on bia no parents ni nyina nim no because these are people that live within the same community either say wa bo bada and now say bia issue bia ba wa kokoto say it happened that into the almost all the parents know that so for that kid to stand out no it motivate the parents to also have their kids go through the same process. Now recruiter assisted program efforts extend to those who are already in the service into a permanent party and I say you be a continue service in the service now. That's a person who could take a recruiter assistance program. It's actually used as part of the rest of recuperation. Okay, who called deployment in about now. Forgot to mention about that point. So called deployment be about 2 weeks rest and recuperation where would they be decompress to adjust back to United States and how things gets done and everything. So RAP program is also kind of like that. And to all honest, no, you know what? I just want to go back to my community and help recruit some young guys that I know from the community. I want to take a RAP program. That will supervise who say, okay, we Brantie or Boy Juma or Nyakwadro 4 or taking BBR seriously. Okay, let me mark him off that. Matter of fact, if ultimately taking rap whilst you're a permanent partner, you can use that as one of your bullets when it comes to end of year evaluation, EPR, almost an evaluation performance report. You can use that as one of your EPRs bullets, and it will actually can set you apart because you really help a recruiter to do this amount of recruitment and also end up recruiting this amount of youth during the period that 1 year the echo year program. No? So that is it with the RAP program. No? Again, and yet guaranteed, you have to earn it. So recruiter, unyuma anyone yama me deny club and RAP program. Or much by me deny because when they were going through the process with me, the worst of time I've ever had in my life. Like you may bless 11 p.m. near Frame, member Senko police station. BB was told I have to go do this. Now me cultural report. Into Morocco's all back for rap. No, you say no. You're not gonna be back for rap. You can take regular leave, come hang out with me, but so baby free leave of 12 days. I don't think so. You deserve it. Into my man. There was another kid to so or no, you ran or typical chain my miss or about whole appointment. Not on number baby in the for elbow bunker for mailbox, and it's like. Because but there's no evidence into that bit my into that's a credit ni honum. And one thing is say you the recruiter, you are in charge of this person. Oba rap na boni BCR, you are going to the commander with him. And I don't think I want to wear my service uniform to go sit in front of a commander. I have a lot of paperwork to push to recruit other people that are serious and ready to join the service now. And you have to earn it. And also, so we are quite for now say you are not standing out. One thing is who gonna near quite for our service in that. Bibinibia service was hardworking, was always looking out for the good benefit to use, and was always standing out and getting all those awards. It's not something that I think will be a problem in the before your side, But again, my man can just in case, you want to get rap now, receive supervisors on farm. Don't think so the equal opportunity you be who be because or reports no or be pushing in aqua say a branch senator or be juma they be excuse they be on appointment better 1,500 they be say and it's like you can tell say he's not dedicated. Then the chest will call you rap now, or be called recruiter in the office. I'll call you Juma. Because none for be abusing or be to be for recruiter. Say be another madam for. Now that's your about rap on me honum. When I was a recruiter, and I had the opportunity to come for rap at my place. And at that point, and an episode abusing rap now. A bit more abusing rap in simple. A bit more about I am madam for. A bit more say oh I'm in chain. Bit more reports, but he would do the needful and do the right thing because at the end of the day, things must be done the way it needs to be done. Now, Yanko TAP. So TAP in the transition with programmer, assistant programmer, Yawama, or more get it out of the service. TAPS is not only for retirees, it's also for separatees and also dishonorable discharge for. If you are going to a dishonorable discharge Actually, dishonorable discharge for munya because it depending on your level of bonya wedi say uye sundowner. Sundowner ye the toast on yadepa. So ye sundowner ka Ghana nke beka say de ni ko garoom. Inti no ebi eto ebi etim the cuffs gunsa na nkofo didi wechi ye be process one day within the day. Ade ye di 1 month ye no ye di 1 day be process abuti out. That means sundowner. Sundowner means emeria and beton the process in it so. And to before say before 5 p.m. no, he has to be kicked out of the base. And that is obi sundowner. That is the case in here very severe. We are handed over to either say abine then not delay and now say ye jana manako ye ni not delay or abine military mwe ye jana manako abine we fence civilian case bianca. Into sundowner for your taps. Honorable discharge for and a general discharge for any taps and a retirees into the honorable any general for no FLA under separatees and some retirees then one. So basically what a tap is then is to tell you it's like a mean for Ghana term be by a bit Matthias workshop. I say call workshop now career fair be now all the other jobs no our military affiliated no they will come and talk to you guys. And also no leading moderator will give you avenues, resources, people that you need to talk to when it comes to health programs are bit me ayama and I say ye free Emma retirees that people don't know benefits those are the things that you get to be educated on drawing tabs into them educational benefits, how to use your education, the right way to go about it, and I say local VA office, and I say be a local Pueblo office or local education office, and these are people like basically known. It sets you well. Taps and set you well, and those tap programs, your team feel leave a free week of training now. You don't have to be at work for all the stuff. In 2 taps bar, and then you can do taps more than once. Say if you're within a year or period of retiring or separating now, because we'll be retired within a year, we wouldn't be retired because when you push the button, the countdown starts. 6 months in over separate here, wouldn't say within this way, no, me time so you be are you gonna be on a list or say no, over separate until you already know. So you have at least 3 to 6 months or to 1 year ahead of the time where you need to go because now no me say before me be retired, maybe Ohio be recruiting, right? Me feel Ohio. So me retired or no. It was like, where do you want to go? We're going to move your staff to. Me say, I'm going to stay right here. Until at the end of the day, no. If you are not me retired, no, I didn't move any further down. Now, if I say, I know if in Massachusetts, right? Now, Ohio, I can retire from Ohio now. So I'll call back to Massachusetts. Or you see, so I'll call back to Massachusetts. And you find a home of record. I bind a bit to you. So I'll retire. I bind it to you for home of selection. HOS and a HOR. Home of selection is only for retirees, and a home of record is for the separatees. So when you separate from the military, you don't get to select where you want to go within the 50 states of United States. They take you back to where they took you from. It is a Ohio. You're recruiting me for Ohio. It is a me separate and community choice. And answer they'll move me to Ohio or anywhere I choose based on the extra cost involved. It is a if say me case now mon family call California. Now say me okay me fi Jersey nearby. Now me Jersey. It me Jersey no because mon family call California. Now Ohio na me fi. I'm calculate the distance from Jersey to Ohio and the distance from or Jersey to California. Say cost be ma you better if you final pay mo. Say if a cheaper there, you for balance it about. Because first of all, it's gonna be movie a free money, so it's not like say you get to have the difference. Now, okay, so be movie one kasa home to California, they'll give you the money from Ohio, Jersey to Ohio. Now we'll say a be better so one side be at so now why you say be card there and then they will bottom. If you did move, not to say do it yourself. Did you move into your did move need there the back and will bottom. Now once you go through the taps and everything is set, and then you know, sir, now you are ready to become a civilian. You start to think about it. The way you are now with no civilian world and say you become in natural say only for dealing the civilian world now. They're not like only military for their delay. So sometimes allow room for people to make mistakes. your English. Names of master dasha. A soldier for some old school English is be our use like you don't even use the word bathroom or restroom. You use the word latrine. So those things they will try to just the way you move breaking you into the military. No, they will try to unbreak you into the civilian now. And it can be a little bit emotional roller coaster because you are used to saying latrine because what car restroom or you look like what are you talking about? And if you're in basic training, you don't even latrine now, you get a big issue or a bigger problem for use the word restroom and that's a bathroom. So they will try to reverse the action to militarize you. No, they try to get you civilized, get you more lenient, get you more calm, get you to look at things from a different angle. Trust me, this is what people don't understand. It will never be overnight. I'm still struggling with that as I speak with you today. So men can say, oh, me pina, bet me, I buy straight to my best civilian. You will still have problems. You will still have issues when you're dealing with, because to be asymmetry will be none panel a process. I didn't know trim you ask now dear me catch you simple. I don't know process. I didn't like say me say when I rocket science be an abibisa. And sometimes what to be catch you oh bet my way. You pan see you mate 3 days no yeah. You just have to understand say it's as an approach, find a better way to talk to me. So they'll walk you through all that process. No, always what I tell people. So once you're in the service, se wanaya we ya be pacho koneko documented. There are a lot of people on my retire and on my separate here. They are struggling right now with some issues. Some issues no yang fan warm. Omenya after the service. Omunya was they were in the service, but it wasn't active. It's omu pie no. Omu lifestyle na asesa no. Amadi may be active. One thing you have to understand is the way you were physically active in the military, or retire, you see at year by refie, it told be a whole bit more told so who told those so it means a sound life balance. One reason why you could just have a lot of impact in your life, a bit me how. Obo so a bit me damage be a one abram. And me find one example. Me a surgery that is my name. Enti surgery me a woman no. I be peer no. I don't used to run like I used to run. I don't used to work out like I used to work out. It's of course we be gaining weight. So we gaining weight now is not say work out yet and now we hear the first now. Who said that become an impact? It's being now a programmer. They will let you understand. Say once you get it out, no, you have to understand. Say with say now what did he say? And now work out. Say yeah, we did the enemy not change. Work out in the best so that means there will be an impact on your body. In terms of weight wise, say be a drawing and now offer and now working out and everything balances out now. Right now, who say a drone no obefa, but work out in your say drone may have a side effect on your body. Then now comes into play, and you have to understand those from a different angle. Psychologically, they will psych you back into the civilian world for you to understand what is happening. Say utia nye now the PTSD PA, maybe I would down to be in fa kanya and dabium, unti be in fa unti dum kanya. All those things they'll give you mental health advocacy, so you can go talk to them. Please take advantage of this. Say, oh, any issue was you during the service, no. That's the one documented. That's a PA. That's one resources to it now. Unye PSA kum. Unti call back and go claim me bibia. Because your issues born now, so documented in our to hodom. That's a PA. That's a starting in where DPR. Guess what happens? Yet to be afraid to be service connected disability. They can go back and connect to it. So before about military, your medical assessment. Now we need our problem with. Sisiano no, me for sleep apnea issue. Example, Oko service no need sleep apnea. Right now, we no sleep apnea. Okay, but yeah, assessment. This doesn't go on. Right now, this is service connected due to ABCD. Until now, you say into the Yama credit for that, and you can get compensation for that the rest of your life. There are people that are making over $3,000, $4,000, almost $5,000 every month for disability compensation because of their ODPA. And see, whatever bothers you, don't be like, or me a tough, me the main complain, me in your way, me them tough guy baby, or me PR in there, or come diomo. A Juma de Crampa, a diamomo. But saying a Juma diamond, Nasi a chalka 4,000 a month. Nasa will life choices, no, meet those standards. I'm telling you, say, obey okay. Because go for baby, all my civilian scrap, they don't even make $5,000 or $4,000 a month. So just imagine so or benefit in $4,000 a month. Aside so who goes so you can make about $2,000 a month on the side, including the $4,000, and still go to school while your education is being paid for. It's always plan ahead. The decision that you make after the military doesn't happen after the military. It happened during the military. It's na am I all the things that happens during the military, education, benefits, BBR, mentorship, leadership, career advancement. Into sa wo advance on the career na who say ejuma bi wom no no. Ma me pɛ certificate wom. Ma me pɛ we wom. Ma me sa so se bi pɛ ejuma bi a e bi afane say me call as a cook. Menya certificate to cook mum. You're one of the toppest chef. Metima no aduane aye bibia kama for the military, right? Before me babe pie no. I can look into yemfa say ebia IT na me person me rema. Now wakoko cross training, go take the ASVAB again, watching the service, cross training into the IT department, serve through that, get that certificate. Once you're IT in the military, upi na no be a show. NSA show, where she show, with a huge sign-up bonus for you to even get a job. So nina ya dia also process your home into. Make I say me PFA military no was I was trying to look into my career for that, me call with my education. I had one of the human resource management job, one of the biggest human resource management job. And guess what got me that job? Recruiting. Recruiting got me that job. And before recruiting, I didn't have any background in human resource management. But because it's, okay, you've been a manager in the Air Force, quote unquote, as a supervisor, you're a manager. Then, once I saw you recruiting, for you to recruit over 100 people into the service, that means, human resource management, OTS, you understand the paperwork that involves, you understand the system, how the system works when it comes to recruiting other people. So that is what works. Again, that's what got me into TATAPSEN as well. Because my job is to get people to come into TATAPSEN as representatives, ambassadors, and also get people to use TATAPSEN. So Ning now plays a major role. You have to sit and look at it from a different angle. So that is what it's retirement services. There's a lot of retirement packages. So all retire, there is 50 to 75% of your paycheck that you can get, depending on how many years I was serving here. And as I will retire, that's also a medical disability. So count. So just imagine, Obi away 20 years in the service while retire. Maybe 20 years, just for the betterment of this conversation, you can say be a master sergeant away 20 years and make it about $10,000, first $7,000 a month. So $7,000 a month, Ubenya move 50% now. That's $3,500. So $3,500 plus our disability. That's the disability in 90 to 100 now, looking about 4,000 and above. So that's 4,000 plus 3,500. That's $7,500 coming to you every month. And so now we're not saying Obia Oko school can was also making about anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. You're taking on the lower end. The lower end, 1,000 plus 7,500, that's about $8,500 a month. So also pay Juma on the civilian side. That's even we'll make it $50,000 a year on the civilian side now. That is about $3,000 every month after taxes are Ojieguni bottom. So that's 3,000 plus 7,500. That ni panano or working normal. Ni bibia or make about $10,500. This is obia or ye ni bibia pepe on the average. And you obia or ye ni bibia basa PSA. I'm talking about obia or far quite pass ye ni bibia pepe. You'll be making about 10,000 plus every month in after taxes. Says CK and BK ni non-taxable. The only one that is taxable, 3,000 now. Oh yeah, with civilian job, no. Or retirement pay is not taxable. Your VA disability is not taxable. And education is soon taxable. The only one that is taxable here was civilian job now. So to carry in to just imagine will be a whippy, no make it 6 figures. It will be a IT, you make it 6 figures. You still have your retirement pay, you still have your disability pay. That is a lot of money that you could be making every month. It's very good. Again, medical. Now at this point, you're afraid be VGLI. So VGLI becomes inside service like Nana is receiving SGLI. Maybe VGLI for veterans. SGLI your mom was serving into the Serbia there's life insurance by the amount VGLI before we be retired so what opting for the VGLI now or retire will lose it. And now separate here will lose it that VGLI but VGLI is only for retirees in Kwa. So whether medical retire and I say traditional retirement, that's what it is for. But say separate that's all per life insurance that then you have to go to a whole different process and I think you have to pay a lot of money to get that. But that life insurance is there. Then on top of that, you do have your medical retirement. So medical retirement, it encompasses you, your spouse, and your children. and they have this military, if it's a medical retirement, the rest of their life, the rest of their life, whilst you remain as a veteran, they will keep having that. And so that is the benefit of it and how everything works. You also get a retired military ID card. I think it's a media one, me say, which that one gives you access to the base. All military base. So there's a military discount. You apply your friend is saying or ID card, and they'll give it to you. Say on a basis, no, never will base cheaper. In case be or base, you can always go whenever there's a promotion going on, and I say you want to use the health facility on base now, you can always do that. It helps of license, so it gives you some perks as well. Into retirement services, need be one of my mechanism. I know people that have retired. No, but retired in depression too. Was that here? I know people that are smoking right now because they say I drink or retired in 1 to 2 in a year. And so it's all about planning, following the leadership and the mentorship skills, and making the right decision for yourself. Nana, to assume.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. You say and one wakan. So how open life year after the military now. You start as soon as possible. We call training in as we make sure say who goals are we might couldn't tell join who goals, and I will make sure say baby sabotage na when you say one opese we and bibia and will not take you away from what you want to accomplish. With that being said, you want to make sure that you're taking good friends, offer good friends. Sometimes you might
network is very important.
First duty station, maybe you supervisor, obey new supervisor. That does not mean say obema or no start on your experience to affect you. You can always go above and get somebody who has more experience.
Are you still using the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, go. Okay, so you should I'm just where we in kamikaze and can you face sunny yen ye. But so you should fine.
Nothing sound like that.
Okay. Detail.
All right. It's one how you might have a supervisor or you new. It's need that much experience. You want to seek that network. You can go to another squadron or even or no supervisor or no might have more experience. No actually say okay, we na me person me school say me person me this program. They will set you up for success. So as K stated, the person you start while in the military, documenting all your illness. That will set you up for the future. One thing too, he talked about the EPR. I don't say in civilian one your friend appraisal. Every year, your supervisor will rank you, and you are accomplishing what you did with your job and what you did with education, what you did with volunteering. That will be on the Lily or Master friend or EPB, enlisted performance board. But it's the same thing, nothing changed. But no squad a boama o compare a juma free one. The way you have that documented for the last 4 years, last 5 years, or last 6 years, how long you were in the military. You can use that for your resume to be able to say, oh, this is what I accomplished. One thing while into, we always tell people to volunteer. Therefore, it's all about service. But volunteer, I always tell people, while find something that interests you. When you volunteer for it now, it gives you the avenue to be a leader in it. When you soccer, you can start teaching, coaching, little league. You can be the main coach. You can put that on your record. That sets you apart to be able to make sure that you can promote accordingly.
Oh, Nana, catch what was say. When did you soccer when I want to be more full time? That way, if you do back about soccer. I bring you to our castle.
And PK say yes, San Antonio every September be echo and when it one that is avenue would you permissible TDY maybe 5 days 8 days you can travel and wako so and also I call records so opportunities there you want to set yourself up while you are in because don't shut down pay and one now saying so fortunately how many program here by your friend skills bridge program it say will be free more the Air Force no be allow up to 6 months will be to me apɛ adwuma bi a w'ani gye ho yɛmfa ne saa ase wɔ sɛ na woyɛ cook ba wopɛ sɛ woyɛ IT a wobɛtumi apɛ program a ɔmoyɛ IT a ɛno no Air Force fo bɛkyerɛ wo sɛ kɔ na ne ɔmo kɔyɛ adwuma 6 months civilian world ne ɔmo kɔyɛ 6 months na wonya wo nsa no adwuma a deɛ w'ani gye ho while wokɔ that 6 months no they pay you as well they pay you full time na watumi na enya deɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ no na ne agye wo certifications ne wo bibia nti woyɛ 4 years it drew 36 months one when you want to pursue IT now pivot normally say when you IT so they are join it right away in the Air Force on training all the certifications that you need you can have that ready to go what's security clearance account into no can so what top secret crowd here usika bobo they just normally Amazon for are looking for people just with top secret so when a contract they just need somebody just with top secret. Who are top secret now? And that's what secret clearance now. Training. It's how you set yourself up, in the Air Force, will help you. Right now, as I told you last 2 weeks, I'm going for my master's degree at Omuchiameka. I'm going for in fact, it's a free master's degree, and I'm still being paid to go do it. Me free more. Me use you want to take your job seriously. Focus on your education, focus on getting your certification, things that will help you because Air Force, they're going to be moving you. And also benefits, make sure that you take advantage of it. Make a hand, as I said, sometimes it will be said, the see I'm too quiet, letter. Me name time, that is how it is. But however, anytime beyond me opportunities, I'm always seeking those. Ben will be a unim. Will be normally me share say in pennyphone be me share my biography. Ube won't see a Nancy I am making Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, almost selecting just last month. Into an only profile and me share who say obey our program. We normally people don't know about it. It's me share no. I contacted him or made that information and I was selected for it to be able to work with the Pentagon. Opportunities were what you know what you want now. Go for it and it will set you up. Because at the end of the day, the Air Force will take their best out of you. So you also want to take the best out of them.
But about say among all the Ghanaians I know that served in the Air Force, minyan who be a of 50 benefits esen wo da. Oh, hello, afro. Charlie Piquet, what do you have? On all kinds of work as a Kodako kind. Obeko kind so the devil pepe. Hey.
Yeah. So you wanna hunt you system now it will set you up. Okay. One thing I also talked about was deployment. That will be my last way about deployment. And normally deployment occur for 4 months, 6 months, but normally that's when if you family anyway, deployment time, your time I'll be to accomplish those kind of goals. Into educational goals, normally deployment, you shouldn't look at it as a bad way. It takes you out, takes you away. You can focus on your education, knock those out. So what fitness goal be, you can knock those out as well. Or spiritual goals be, you can do those as well. And at PKK, Obabaka, they give you 2 weeks for you to be able to relax and then get back to your normal life. So just in a nutshell, making sure that you're working on your leadership skills that will set you up, finding great mentors, creating your network, being in good company. Because you don't want to end up coming back, having all those bad vices, on your side. And one thing too, don't get comfortable, because if you have so every first and 15 year what get you about. Now, goals and Yama on the two, what I on to referee. Now we'll get comfortable. When you buy one, not 6 years about, when we buy one, not time and also, so don't get comfortable. Make sure that there will be you are on time or find an accountable partner to keep you accountable. And then at the end of the day, you will be successful both in the military and then also when you come out. So thank you so much.
All right, Nana. Let's go to the questions. Go to the questions. Mr. Brew, your question on the answer right after this show, like in the next 15 minutes, your question will be answered because right after this show we'll be doing Q&A session with tap send, whereby or be any questions or will be with tap send, the issues and the concerns, the contributions be we answer that for you. Mr. Brew, question will be answered in Patrol that Hodi Mami Wine. Sisiana Nana Kwame, it was a very good question, and I couldn't wait to ask this question. Nana Kwame say, I want to know if airmen are allowed to get a second job, whether part-time, full-time, or per diem, while still in active duty. Nana, okay, say Texas, yes, she got a diba could be when person my body, but say or a major class and say, no Saturday staff sergeant, no you about Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Busan say, how you active duty, not so you about Home Depot, because I don't know medical field, right? And I say, or actually, supervisor chain. On any supervisor kasa say, because of Nemado do award no, pay no any enough for mano. Into no or pay bibi kakadia solicited because you resource so any juma. And the supervisor can say, because you're hard working, or be allowed to say, far as say, Juma no bako no interfere with your duty hours, any extra curriculum, because in the military, the reason why you're active duty so you're 24/7, you might be needed at any moment and they will call you. You have to be there in 30 minutes, right? Into okay, cool. No, the Home Depot for Coca side, Home Depot says, sure, you better go Juma from 6 to 10. Time you're in Texas now. And he was actually working 6 to 10 from Home Depot. Into upon the Juma 4 o'clock, Texas now, the duty 4:30 now. No coffee, no sign home, no Home Depot. And if it was at Home Depot, see a friend himself back to a Juma for any emergency, Home Depot for allow them to call, and they don't take it away from his pay. So, minimum says still as any money one ma, yet me, supervisor to be allowed my part-time.
Yes. And into your friend of duty assignment, you know, you first thing say, as to okay, ube make sure say where Juma now where Juma you are allowed to do that. Supervisor or it goes through a whole chain. And you know, first sergeant back your commander or squadron commander has to sign off that. The stipulation around it, and they said they don't want you to work, more than 20 hours in a week, in addition to what you're doing in the Air Force or in the military. And I know one man, Walmart before answer now joining into maybe I could be a Walmart so the baby and maybe could be a no or retire war because Afghanistan or retire war Air Force and also retire war Walmart.
Wow.
He did it all this while. And a Juma no and one no or civilian and one no or Walmart and one no soldier. It is doable. It is doable. But then you say obey where Juma make sure say interfere with the Juma. I know a few to see a door dash in Uber drive anyway. Go for you. We know where and I do way I'll be to my combo. I'll make sure say a moment that was being pay me no and so just make sure say conflicted with what you are doing. So that is doable.
Okay. All right. And how about refereeing in soccer games if you already have certifications before joining the military? I think you get paid for refereeing those in Club games, right? And if you main Air Force tournament, you get paid for that too.
Yes. So our certification will be you can do it. Just make sure say maybe we are Monday to Friday weekends now. And after work with me I referee. And you can even those certifications go with me not to or appraiser also time for your EPR now your EPB you can put it on. So it's something good. They encourage it.
Okay. Also, that is nice for you to share benefits with. Okay, no problem. OBC, does the medical retirement percentage rating translate to pension benefits at a certain age? Maybe
also does the medical
retirement percentage rating translate to pension benefits at a certain age?
No, answer no since you are retired.
Okay, so medical retirement percentage, and let's say if you have 100% medical retirement, right? Depending on how many kids that you have, comes with it. As your kids get older, 18, so that's it. When it gets to 21, it falls off. What I say? And as they get older, and everything just falls off. So say Ebeka won crown. It's a weird situation, but at the same time, it doesn't translate to pension benefit to a certain age, because medical retirement is in the air for life. So far as you are you're living, until live you could do 80 years, they'll still be paying you. But at that point, you probably will be getting those benefits rating based on without dependents, because your dependents at that point now are over 21.
All right, can I come in?
Yes, please. Yeah, please. I was about to even
so-
open up whilst we get ready for your friend to say Facebook for.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting down this platform today for people like us with a couple questions. I know I don't know if you recognize the voice, but maybe later and a bit ready.
Okay, elder Idi Onimbo pa.
Yeah. All right. So I was the one that just asked about the retirement translating as pension. Once that with the traditional, you do your minimum 20 years, you're entitled for pension, right? So I haven't seen the source, but I've heard it from a few sources saying that at maybe like 60 or 65, whatever percentage you got, that is what your pension would be, in addition to your.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Martin, how can I say that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Obi, it's Obi, right? Obi, do you lose the VA one? And it's an add-on. Yeah. Okay. And what age is that? Oh, trust me, I'll research into that myself too. Obi, I guarantee you, say before the end of the week, Dana and I will get you an answer to that. Yeah. Because that's a good light to share on, because I know say you can't double dip into the say if there's an age threshold we'll do that threshold now. You can do both. No, yeah, I think so. It's a good news. All right. Okay. iPhone say, I'm in the process of joining the Air Force. The Air Force Reserve, but I'm confused if I should go active duty instead. I currently have an IT job though, but I want to serve because of the benefits. Based on your experience, should I go active or reserve and keep my IT job? Please advise me. And I remember first as a comedian. Basically, then he wants to join the Air Force and he has an IT job, but he was trying to join the Air Force Reserve based on the conversation, and he wanted to join because of the benefits. But based on the conversation, or it's a wide, dilemma whether he should go active or go reserve and just keep his IT job, or go active and just, Mhm. This is the thing, right? I always tell people there's nothing wrong with going reserve, but when say okay, reserve education benefit and medical benefits is not the same as going active. Into reserve benefits, uh, like I don't even know what it is when it comes to reserve medical benefits. Education, I mean, say obenya bibi kakra is typing B for education, but be patcho be about. Yeah, it's based on what advice now we're making it right to answer your question or no. So if you have an IT job and everything looks good with your income, I will make it with the IT job no, and what you make can handle the benefits that the efforts can offer you. That's the benefits in quantity that person join it. Make us say do the balance it no. Then if you say okay, what do you make me it look good there? Then do the reserve and keep your IT job. Because it's not guaranteed say why IT job no translate into the Air Force. Especially say when you're a citizen. Now so join here, the Air Force will not give you the IT job because IT jobs no, you have to be a citizen. Because they don't know the automatic come off with top secret. It is all your green card holder, NASA bar. It's gonna be difficult for you to get that. And that means you have to get a look for the IT job whilst you're already in the Air Force. Then Anaka allows to you cross train from that job, you would be rim no. Now they are not IT job. It basically takes your film so you have to look at it from that angle. But if IT job now so maybe I'll make it 70, 80, and it's not that great for you. Who bet you to benefit in the area and be escape about bottom so and enough. Now so to how much you make in the Air Force now, then going active will be better. Then you translate it later into the IT, in the Air Force. iPhone me Pacho, go ahead.
Let me say for in terms of the a captain or Army National Guard.
Okay.
So you get the same benefits as the active duty if you do at least 90 days of active duty service.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get a federal benefit. So if
that is if they have activated you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And most in the National Guard they do activate you at least once every 5 years. Every unit get activated.
Yeah, but iPhone, this is the thing though. National Guard is different from reserve, and that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about reserve.
Okay.
Yes, It's a reserve benefit and it's not the same as National Guard benefit. Because think of it, National Guard and you fall under the governor, no? And the governor no have a specific your friend is say not allotment budget for you guys. And that budget again think about it, say National Guard 60% of the National Guard people that are only activated. Especially Air Force, communications and some of your IT departments, or me a National Guard, and I've deployed with them multiple times. Or mobile with the whole unit. They come with the whole unit. Reserve doesn't deploy that way. Reserve deploys because they be your transportation for a convoy. We don't have enough, and I say be a obdipo or wakonyem and we could plan we tap into reserve for reserve to go. Until that is when we activate that reserve person. Once that reserve is activated, or forced under active orders. Or few deployments is not about back pedal, you deactivate. I've known a reserve, so I activated them and I boa Nellis. Bibiana na years ago, I'm an boa as TDY or for 3 months, you need to do 2 years. Because they liked him, they needed him, he didn't want to come back. The good thing is that his job is still secure, the civilian job is still secure because a duty call. Into National Guard and the reserve, are two different components when it comes to the more budget and how benefits in the works.
Okay.
David Boham say, "Hi, may I please know if this what you guys are saying is being recorded? I think episodes are recorded. Okay, so yes, it is recorded. It's on Facebook, YouTube. Almost there was a break on Facebook. Is it working now? Okay, producer, see you. Good. All right, Nana. Young core, Patrick, so be a question. Be a bit on you too. What a question? Any contribution? Be our Michelle. Oh, contribution to question. Be our.
Hi, it's me again, Obi.
Obi, go ahead.
I kind of came in late into now. I'm not sure if you guys touched on the voc rehab benefits now.
What benefit?
Voc rehab, no.
No. What is that?
So that be any for free more or time more. Yeah, touch it.
Okay. That's on the VA side.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So what is the voc? Do I know it to be a different name?
VRE.
Voc
VRNE.
So what does it really do?
So it's an educational benefit, That's one of the ways of getting it for people that are like 100% permanent and total on the VA side. And what they do is like I guess any career interest you have, they can sponsor you to go to the school, and they also give you the same housing benefit, just like the VR bill does. But it's something that you have to. There's categories, like 3 main categories that you have to meet, and then aside from that, so I would say you have to meet with a counselor. You have to apply for it. Meet with a counselor for them to see that you're be a candidate that will benefit from that program. You may meet all the categories of that benefit, but they may still deny you, which is what I'm going through right now.
Oh, okay.
Now I was hoping, there was somebody that was successful with that application to maybe share their tricks on how they got approved.
Got you.
Yeah, I have somebody that has been approved. So if you need that, just contact me and then I'll link you up with that.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Patrobi, another question. You can Facebook. You can share what people are saying. Bound for a question. Questions on Facebook real quick. But so be a question. Be able to me on mute. No, na wakasa. Na ye will be say we actually your time aso.
Yeah.
Pacho, more quick question.
Pacho, go ahead.
Army guy here. So I'm debating about switching to the Air Force. To make a little bit information. So in terms of the reserve, because I'm more medical side, more hospital. So how was it to be able to get assignment? Like if you want to get like a deployment assignment, how easy is it to get as a reserve in the Air Force compared to the Air Guard? And I know I've heard it's very difficult if you want to be working like overseas and BBC, it's difficult. So how does it compare to the Air Force Reserve?
No, not to the question I see you.
Nah.
Okay, my repeating myself.
Yeah.
The only part that I be
uh,
cross training, and we're friend say switching
So-
over.
Yeah, so what happened is, friend saying in terms of the National Guard, they say it's very easy to get activated. Matisse Air Force, and you're the same. Like the Air War Reserve, anyway, no person here, like overseas assignment. It's very hard to get those kind of assignments as a reserve in the Air Force. How true is that?
Yeah, a banner reserve side in India will be a little limited. I'm more of the active duty now. But it depend the tempo. And I have a few individuals in reserve. If you want more information, now we can look into that option.
So he wants to know, say, if we are reserve, not so Army reserve, not so Air Force reserve,
Yes, that so because like in the army, open say activity, you can volunteer easy and get the activation if you want to do an overseas assignment. It's much easier. But Matisse Air Force is difficult to get assignment overseas if you want to volunteer for overseas. I don't know how true that is. I wanted to find out.
If you want to volunteer overseas, then I mean, what do you mean by volunteer overseas?
So like I just got deployed to Germany as a medical provider. So for a medical provider, our deployments are basically volunteer. Like I say, here, a friend saying this unit is going this way. They need a provider to go with them.
Okay.
Or who can go with them? They can volunteer. But
so
Matisse Air Force, it's hard to be able to get those kind of assignments.
So this is the thing in the Air Force. Germany, Turkey, anywhere in Europe is not a deployment for us. The deployment, what we call deployment, and sadly with Matilda, I don't want to say those places are never deployment. What we call deployment is when you go to the Middle East, and I say we are Africa, and I say we are basically, if you go to Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, we're trying to say maybe I'm going for
Jordan, I think some more Air Force.
Jordan is a deployment.
Yeah.
Djibouti is a deployment. Naomi, Nigeria, Honam, so your deployment. But Nana may come baby and comfortable baby. I'm going yes. I said Dubai crew ho baby
Qatar now.
Is it Qatar?
Yeah, Qatar. Yeah.
IUD. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a Oban for all you did, all those places, those are the ones that are called deployment. Syria, deployment. But Germany, it's either a PCS, which is a permanent change of station, and that's a TDY, temporary duty location. Now we'll call for training.
Make exception. You sometimes you can deploy to Germany though.
So they've made exception to that right now.
Yes, yeah. Depending on assignment, say when we are bringing people from Afghanistan, anyway, you'll be a medic. However, so it's true that you are based in Germany, but you're going back and forth on the C-130.
So then that means you're not going to Germany for just that way. You're going there to actually fly and a friend say to Afghanistan and back and forth with the PJs, recovery with the planes, with those evacuation way planes, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you are based in Germany, so it's considered.
Oh, okay. Well, the medic side, well, Air Force deployment, is mainly based on their friend say tempo bands. So if you fall within those tempo bands, and that's our time, so now you have to go and now with the units now you deploy with the units and within your tempo and into there are P1 to P5.
And sign the about the tempo because I mean you can go anytime, but I think
there be and time on so yeah, I didn't so bit Marco. Now boys the time was so crap, boys scrap a quiet into the time so yeah, but Facebook they're trying to say questions be one, but I've already answered some of the questions. Friend said Big Sam I know or take comment on my or hard you know of the only man says in so say what is tabs, but yeah, we did talk about tabs being transition assistant program which helps you to get yourself better. Big Sam made a very valid point. I said they can never break the military in you after 7-10 years, which is a fact, but which is a fact. But I want to believe, sir, tabs will be doing a little bit of the work to mediate it. I'm not being diplomatic or trying to lie about it, but I mean, we'll be so I want them. And then we have Ojo the comedian from all the way from Ghana. Also a Sabo Tete Majite. Only Ojo and for the Professor Lionel or not to be Fabrofobia, no translating it to something else. Ebusia for Yadamase. Nana Obojuma. And there I hear there. We'll find out words. Now for the Yambo de Rufo. Namibwa next week a weight management.
Obiaman and Sasso.
Patrol Masasa
Maxwell, yeah, Mr. Wawedi, a quick one. Military no mean come be that no matter a permanent station deployment ubet me I explain ya direct grandpa.
Oh because it's here say deployment no say ya do call den ka Ghana because ya okwa and a peacekeeping no na deployment now deployment no so no obi ani na adwuma oye won obi won ma no oye mission support obi won na oye front line obi also so oye outside the wire but on your front line basically no or supply or keep supplies from inside the wire to outside the wire and I say depending on wejuma we so wejuma we maybe wejuma say many army and they deploy to be deployed along with the army now wejuma so no go sometimes with the army people because of what they might need into the depending on what wejuma here and what the demand will be.
Okay, Matthias here because now my team say mushrooms then I'm not sure I see anything. But that's what you say.
But IT was a deployment to be before.
Okay, that's it.
Now come say, will the military pay for a program airmen pursue outside USA schools? That's a good one.
It's saying the school are while in the military, and I say when you.
I'll say for example, masters in cyber in Leeds University, UK. But if you are stationed in UK, yes, you can. It has to be a jurisdiction thing. So, and the thing is, that university will have a campus. We'll have we'll have a campus on base.
It's like campus on
yes,
base.
We'll have a campus on base. It's in but most of the times the US schools are almost on base and stuff like that. So yes, but again, you have to look into whether your location also matters. Agnes, what is the?
I wanted to clarify, Hono. Say you can still use like say GI Bill while in. Then I'm person who said while in that you can sometimes you can use your GI Bill to be able to do it overseas. Said the GI Bill no will be able to cover it while you. But that means you are using your benefit while in, which normally advise say you wait till you get out to use your benefit.
Okay. Agnes, question there, but you have to go watch last 2 weeks' video though. Nana gave a vivid understanding of the different types of call, whether you want to go office or enlisted, age limits, but it's 17 to 44. Into maybe see hold for now. That's the age limit. But okay, last 2 weeks there now. Or better see ye now what follow up with in that year One mobile and then I'm last 2 weeks Into I said in your papa mamosa but banana gave a recap. Last comment if he Frank Captain or say good point. Anna Bema Isaac Akari honorable. I say good job guys. You are doing a good job. Honorable. That's it. Ebusia for I had him say in the judgment. Now what the final words nearby now.
No, like I say, that will be asked. Someone say, "Mom, a bit TV." You can say, "Soja ne ya kwenye biya bit me abuao. What me aseto ho. What we Ghana ba na so wo munani mano and no call back and forth. Just doing 4 years and will give you that stability. At least when you run we are for first on the first we pay back on the 15th we pay back. Now there will go tie see when you know what me na toto. What settle up said by the time of 4 years in the best no. Now over back into civilian world now when your benefits are available to you. I'll be to they'll give you the VA loan to buy a house. You can get the GI Bill to pay for your home. Say if you have disability like we talked about now, you can take advantage. You benefit from the disability. It sets you up. On top of that, you can use your educational benefit. You can get your certification. And so be here, BBR, how to get in. Say we could be a problem. Yeah, just reach out to PK or reach out to me, and we'll be able to talk to them because sometimes we speak our own language and they will understand us.
Yes, Nana, that's it. You made a very valid point concerning the benefits in the pay, and I want to add on to say at least Onim say job security no wɔ for the next 4 to 6 years, depending on your enlistment cycle. No, and then if na work with your job, layoff bar, you don't have to worry about layoff or anything. So one could say hunu pa a cheswa and one could no bonibia then pass it be ready. Into no, me sure say if you na far quite part so be kama. The last time some people make say yenyi enhoni fi ye mamu and na soldier dia okwa na akwakowu and I say trust me baby na akwakowu, but I feel say if you do what you're supposed to do bibia be kama, and I say if you stay within your lane bibia so be kama nyankopon de bebo ye nyina ho ba ubewu abewu utwe wo mu tai opa be nko soldier say tu ne bekun a obi nipa bone for bi di to be ball baby a you not even ready but nyame pengu bon. But the point I want to make is say me man yan fa say hu ni nhye ye man ye offer say ne ye busuan for mum. If they want to do it, let them do it. Again, soldier and it's not for everybody. Soldier is not for everybody. Intenyo obiana obetimi akọ soldier no. Intene se misraba mama yanti asesa say if it's not within you, it's not possible. So, that's all I want to add on to say. Let's look at that from that angle. Now, once it's within the person, encourage the person to do it. Na bibia ekoso enya kama. Yeda mo nyina asesa bo by sabre ye be hand you over my A class. Na why tap send. Me patcho ye nua obebusa question Mr. Drew. One I number first person obebusa question. Facebook ni YouTube for yeda basi. Yeda mo see am say mo nyina mo bra Zoom na fi the tap send questions ni nyina no. Ye be jo wono. Mo Facebook so mutie nyina so yeda basi YouTube for nya, Zoom for nya, Zoom for the master defenders. Nyakopon kamo.